Hello, amazing ghouls and humans, and yeah, this will be a kind of experimental format without my face. I'm currently not at home without my collection, and yeah, I just decided to record the video anyway. And today I will discuss new upcoming releases or recent releases that we already got, and just tell you my thoughts about them. They will not be in chronological order, because I kind of already confused when something was released, but yeah, anyway. And the short disclaimer, if you don't agree with my opinion, it is completely fine, and I really don't want to offend anyone. I totally respect your opinion. And I want to start with already outdated release, but yeah, for me she is still new. Anyway, new that fast Gulia. I just can't not to say something about her because, that fast Gulia is an iconic doll. And here I need to say that after some time of just looking at this doll and observing her, I started to feel a little bit better about her, but when she was released, I was kind of pissed off, to be honest. And right away, without even looking at her in details, my main complaint was that they are re-releasing Gulia that fast. I just kind of think that some things should stay iconic and kind of untouchable as they are. And this Gulia is not exception. You know, it's like with Black and White Frankie. When I, as a child, saw basic black and white Comic-Con Frankie, I was so obsessed because it was something different. It was something that I've never seen before. And when I took this doll in my hands, it was this almost like eerie feeling that I'm holding something from another dimension, right from the black and white old movie. And that was just an incredible feeling. And I think by this reason I even ignored Skull Shore's black and white Frankie for some time, just because I wanted the original one to stay the only kind of queen and curiosity on my shelf. But now we got Shadow High, we got, I guess, 3 more black and white Frankies. Well, you know, this a little bit kills this feeling of uniqueness. And the same about this Gulia. I think, first SDCC dolls, they were so original, they were so unique, and they were so perfect that they don't need to be re-released in any way. But now about the design. Overall, it is not the worst doll, and not the worst we've seen recently, of course. When I first saw her, I think my instant thought was that she reminded me more not of a doll, but of an action figure of some, children's show like Rangers or this stuff. I'm not really good at these shows, but I guess you got what I mean. She looks a little bit like collaboration, maybe even like DC superhero girls, if you remember that line. Like with a lot of new Monster High dolls, she has this thing that I call not Monster High looking Monster High accessories. For example, to take her lightning's thing, I think it looks a little bit more like a tree than lightnings. Just compare her lightnings and lightnings of Voltage's Frankie. And another thing, I know that lightnings is a common thing in comics and all this stuff, but maybe it also gives a strange feeling to see kind of Frankie's item, because lightnings, they are associated with Frankie much more than with Gulia. Another thing is her glasses. For some reason, when I look at the new Gulia, I think not of a bird, which I think an inspiration for that fast, but about some kind of an insect, a fly. If we see the old Dead Fast Gulia's glasses, they are so snatched, and she has this kind of nose, bird nose. So when you look at her in her glasses, you instantly think that she's kind of bird inspired, and when you look at Dead Fast himself, you see so many similarities. The thing I truly love about old Dead Fast Gulia is how limited her color scheme is. Basically, her entire outfit is only black, red, and a small white thing on her chest. New one, for some reason, got green from nowhere. She also has blue strikes. Her black is not that black, it's more like gray, I think, or maybe it's just a material. So she has just a lot going on. And I think that in this particular case, more is not better. If these lines would not be blue and green, but for example silver, maybe it would look better. I also can't understand what's going on with her accessories. To me, these metallic suspenders look a little bit out of place and just, I don't know, don't need it. And look how they interfere with her necklace. I mean, original Dead Fast Gulia, she has fabric color and it's just a piece of her clothes, but this one is from metallic plastic and it goes over the another plastic kind of big accessory. I don't know, just something is weird about it to me. And her shoes. How much I love some of the Monster High shoe designs. For example, some collectors like Dracula, Frankenstein wife. But this one looks just so lazy, to be honest, because they basically just recycled her action figure, her Dead Fast figure that she has and had multiple times. And I don't know, for me it's just they revered to make the heel from her favorite action figure. I don't know how I would feel if, for example, I would get boots with Monster High doll heel. But now to the things that I do like about her. And the first thing is her belt. I like that it is not just simple round one. I like that it has form and I like that it goes a little bit up. It's unusual and very nice. And I just adore the box. Oh my god, the artwork by Incredible Darko, it is everything. And I mean, SDCC boxes, they are always masterpieces. And I can't wait to get my doll just to put her in box on a shelf, because the box itself is, to be honest, for me better than the doll. Maybe I will get some more love to this doll when I get her. I ordered her, but she's still being shipped to me, yes, to this point. But so far like this. And oh my god, I probably sound so violent and so negative here, but I still have love to these dolls. Even if I critique them, like, this Gulia is still very pretty. Yes, she has flaws. Like, almost every modern doll has flaws and could be much better, but we still buy them, we still love them. And now let's talk about the pack of Cleo and Nephra. I was so happy when they announced that they released Nephra, because this is one of my mother's favorite dolls. My mother really likes Nephra and Cleo. And all dolls which we had of Nephra before, they were amazing. Like, basic Nephra is one of my all-time favorite Monster High dolls. Blue York one is also magical. Screaming Sugar is, simple and I guess one of the last G1 dolls. But she still has her right to exist. And what about these ones? Well, you know what is said to me? It is very sad that we get dolls that are considered to be collector edition, that cost a lot, that back then, just a few years ago, would be considered budget ones. Because just look at the quality. The dresses, they are so simple. The silhouettes, they are so simple. They basically just have how much? 2 fabrics and a lot of prints, and that's it. I mean, just a reminder that Gloom and Bloom Cleo originally costed $25. And yeah, even with inflation and all this crisis, I don't know. I feel like if MJA can do Rainbow High with super detailed clothes, why Mattel can't? At least just for collector editions. And what about the designs? Well, first of all, I can't understand why they keep using this idea with bands that are hanging from sleeves. I mean, the first time when they used it, it was fine. The second time, it was okay. But it seems like now they are giving this idea to every single Cleo and Nephra now. And my usual complaint about the forms of accessories. I'm sorry, but plastic bands here, to me, they don't even look like bands. They look like roulette or tape. On Nephra, they look like a spider, not like bands at all. I mean, a cute thing that they played around her basic neck accessory. But with this, the print of the clothes is very boring and reminds me a lot of budget releases of G2. They have cute moments. I like how they played around their pets in their crowns. Cleo's face is fine. Finally, we got a doll with short hair. Some difference, wow. But overall, to be honest, it's a very weak release. Not to go too far away from Cleo, let's discuss Holiday one. And I mean, I again just think that she is very boring. She is less boring than the previous pack, but still she could be so much better, even by just some minor changes. First of all, her skirt. What is with the pattern? It looks like she has an enormous hips. And I mean, don't take me wrong, it is super beautiful to have very wide and beautiful hips, but not when it is made with a dress. She doesn't have a different body type. She just has a lot of air under her skirt. And the length is also very strange to me. I think even if she would have just bell type of the dress, if it would be long and maybe have several layers, have some glitter, she would be already much more a collector edition doll. Because this way, well, I don't know. The crown is very heavy, very big, very majestic, but all the rest to me is just out of place. Her face is very beautiful though, and shoes are also very beautiful. But that's all I can say about her, to be honest. And the next one is new Skelita. Again, a release about which it is very difficult for me to say anything positive or negative. She just exists. The minor complaint I can make about this cheap fabric of the dress that they used again, but with this, it works fine with the print, and I really like her print. I like her a little bit more than the first one, because first one reminded me a lot of the old G1 collector Skelita. This one has a cool headpiece. I feel like she has a little bit disbalance. It would be cool if she had sleeves, but overall she's not the worst release, I guess. And now to the SKULLECTOR that was the first collector that I haven't bought, and which just pissed me off so much. Hocus freaking pocus. When I first saw these pictures in my feed, I didn't even recognize them as Monster High doll. and nothing in them said to me that they were Skellector. The most kind of adult collector, creepy, brutal, all the horror movies related line. The line of the most beautiful Pennywise Grady twins, Greta, creepy monster of Black Lagoon, and elegant Frankensteins. I've been scrolling through my feed, and when I saw this, I was like, oh well, one more doll for kids like Cave Club or Playline Disney. And after my friend pointed me out that this is news collectors, let's just begin with the fact that they look nothing like characters themselves. And there were better redesigns by fans. I'm sorry, but it wouldn't cost much to just make their looks more dark. Mattel just mute the colors. And the release themselves, it's so random. Like we started with old horror movies. And this collector line was intended to be not only for Monster High adult collectors, but also for horror movies fans and for nostalgia elder people. I'm sorry, but I can't imagine myself a fan of this show even, who would look at these dolls and say, oh my god, they remind me of my favorite characters. They are so in tune with my favorite children's comedy. So that I want to put them on, I don't know, my shelf related to my favorite old movies. The only good things I can find is this celestial piece, and I think the introduction of the new body type. And without looking too far, another, the most random collector we could get. Squid Game doll. I understand that they probably wanted to be in trend because the second Squid Game is being released now. But am I the only one who thinks that this doll doesn't look like that creepy thing from the movie at all? I mean, if you would not say to me that it is from Squid Game, I would just think that it's a cute little girl, and that's it. And on a box, she looks creepy cute. She looks aggressive. But the printing of the doll itself is very much different from the box. And one more random collector. I mean, why are they releasing such random dolls? I remember this movie being in cinemas a few years ago, but it is like not old school classic. I think nothing like huge, for example, like Squid Game. How are they choosing dolls? I mean, these ones are better than previous ones, I guess. At least they have kind of brutal adult elements like blood. They do resemble characters from the movie. They have interesting hairstyles. They are more interesting than previous dolls. But again, just dolls are being released with such a speed and with no context. They're just throwing new releases. But they have right, I guess. So if you watched to this point, thank you a lot. Wish you all the best and see you in the next videos.